How we doing? Zach Brown just tweaked his quad a little bit yesterday. He going to do a little bit more today.
Jay, Chris Thompson said yesterday he sensed a different vibe around the team this year, and just whatever that vibe is. Do you sense something different with this group going, after having been with them all spring and all that?
Well, I've been here a day.
I mean, they're spring, too.
Now we're just trying to get our stuff installed and watch these guys play. We got a lot of new guys here we're trying to take a look at, a lot of rookies, trying to get them acclimated to how we want things done here. So this is the first day of training camp. I do sense a bit of a confidence level in these guys, and they feel good about where they are physically and mentally, but haven't played it down yet, so we'll wait and see.
Jay, at safety, how much do you look at having two guys there that can complement each other, as well as like Swearinger and Nicholson just have a completely different, different styles of play or skill set? How much does that kind of factor into the decision? Because I imagine ideally you want that to complement each other.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Monte's injury hurt a little bit more than people anticipated. He's such a all-around great athlete with great speed. He does complement DJ quite well. DeShazer does a good job when he comes in there. He can get in the box. He can play different spots also. Apke's shown some flashes of being really fast and good. Ladler's done some good things. So the safety position we feel good about. But, from a starting point, you're looking at DJ and Monte. They do complement each other very well. And DJ's very multi-talented also. He can do different things. He can cover tight ends. He can cover backs. He can play in the post also. So those two guys are good. We just got to continue with the communication process. And Monte was a rookie last year, missed a lot of time. DJ was new to the defense. So hopefully this year it all comes together for him.
Jay, over here on the left side, you've talked at length about the job that Alabama does in developing the talent. In terms of the personality, Jonathan last year, we got to know him a little bit, didn't seem like a very talkative guy, a sponge. Duran seems to be kind of the similar mold. How much of the personality aspect do you guys dig into before making a first-round selection like that?
We try to. We try to make sure that their personality fits into what we want in a football player. It's very important. I think the type of character fit is important to a football team. And if you go to the University of Alabama, odds are you are going to buy into playing hard-nosed football. And that's part of our draw, too, looking at Alabama guys. Look at Ryan Anderson and Jonathan and obviously Duran, hard-nosed football players that love football. So not to mention that Alabama usually gets a cream of the crop of the high school kids, so they're obviously very talented. But, yeah, Jonathan is starting to come out of his shell a little bit, and I'm sure Duran will do the same thing. But Ryan is, all these guys are, and Sean Dion, love football. They're well-trained and good players.
Yeah, a little more information about the guys on the PUP list. Halsey, what was the nature of the injury when the table fell on his foot, and how long are you looking for him to be out for?
I don't know. He's in a boot right now, and I think we'll start him on the PUP like we have, and we'll just – we don't know. I don't know. He severed his big toe, and so we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, and Stacey McGee, what is there a chance he could miss regular season?
Yeah, there's a chance for sure, and we'll wait and see. He's doing a great job of working to get back into shape. A big body like that, it might take a little bit more time, but I can't stay because Stacey has had a couple injuries in the past and done a great job of rehabbing, and he looks in good spirits and good shape already. But that's just a time will tell type thing, and depending on where we are in the roster and all that good stuff.
Jay, you guys have been hard on Preston Smith in the past when he hasn't produced. Last year he bounced back. What's a realistic jump for him this year? What do you guys need to see from him?
I need to see, I think he needs to be a dominant edge setter, really, to go along with Ryan Kerrigan. I think this is time for him to step up. He's got all the tools in the world. He's proved that he can be an excellent pass rusher. He's very good against the run. He's long, tough, and strong. Motor, got a good motor. So we expect great things from Preston. Watching these guys on the edge, Ryan and, we're put in our outside zones yesterday. It's a pain in the rear trying to get out there, with Ryan and Preston setting the edge. So, and then, obviously Ryan Anderson also. So expect great things from Preston, and I know he does of himself. Big year for him.
Jay, based on what you know about Alex so far, why do you think he's been a quarterback who, as he gets in the later stages of his career, he's shown not just steady improvement but dramatic improvement in some areas?
I don't know. I think the quarterback position is all about a comfort level of the people around you in the system, and I think he started to really get that with Coach Reed, and he got some great players around him, and he knows how to distribute the ball extremely well, keep plays alive. doesn't make many mistakes. But I think it's all about, some of these guys of taking what's given to them and let the playmakers make plays for them. He did a great job of that. And I anticipate him doing the same thing. Once we get all our guys healthy, letting Chris Thompson, they don't want to check wide for a gain of 15. He's a great distributor of the football. And, that's what he's been in his whole career. And he's just continued to elevate that level of play, based on experience.
Does it surprise or impress you that he's had so many coordinators and yet he's still been able to thrive? Because we think about the guys who really thrive, they play in one system for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
He's never had that, but he continues to grow.
Yeah, that's hard. Every year you learn a new terminology. But at the end of the day, it's quarterback's responsibility to learn whatever it is the coach teaches you. And you got a lot of time, between off season and training camp and preseason games. You have a lot more time, so it's a quarterback's responsibility. Really, there's no excuse, in my opinion, ever for a quarterback to say, I didn't know that play or that concept. I wasn't quite sure. Maybe a rookie from time to time, but a 15-year vet like Alex who knows how to prepare himself day in and day out to make sure when he steps on the field, he knows exactly what the play is, what the protection calls are, where to go with the football in this coverage, that coverage. That's what being a quarterback's all about, and there's nobody better at that than Alex in the last 5 years.
Josh made this play yesterday where the ball was coming in really low and he just turned around and grabbed it and spun by Norman. Have his hands developed since he's gotten here?
That was luck. I don't care what it. He never saw that ball.
Yeah.
But he does have great mitts. There's no doubt about it. And there's no taking away that he has great, strong hands. But that particular play, ain't no way you can tell me that was skill.
I know this might have been more front office related than coaching related, but why the extension for Colt now?
Why? Because Colt's a great player to have here. He's a great backup quarterback. He's a great quarterback in general. And something happens to Alex, knock on wood, that I know that our team is in good hands. And that position you don't want to mess around with.
A year ago, when Jordan Reed soreness, I guess people were thinking maybe he'll be back in a couple weeks, and it lingered through the whole season. How hopeful are you that after a couple of surgeries that Jordan Reed's toe issues are finally behind him?
Yeah, I'm very hopeful, without a doubt. I have to be. He's one of our best, most explosive players on offense. And, it's hard to find a guy like that can really stretch the field, work in the slot, work the option routes, and still be a factor in the running game. I think he's one of the top tight ends in the National Football League when healthy. Last year he tried to fight through a couple of those injuries, and in the offseason he got them fixed. So hopefully we'll put an end to all those foot and toe injuries things and ankle. So Jordan feels he feels great right now. He's very optimistic about the way his body feels, and now it's our job to make sure we just progress him along at a good rate. Hopefully get him in there in a preseason game or two and get him ready for the Cardinals.
Jay, what more do you want to see from Josh Norman at this point of his career, or is he just who he is at this point?
Well, I think Josh is always going to be who he is, which we don't know who that person is from day on to day out. It's just tell me who he is. But I like Josh. Josh is a steady mainstay guy here at corner and do a lot of good things for us in coverage and tackling. I just want to see him continue to work with the young guys, work with himself, continue to get better. That's all you can do as a cornerback, and study the game, study the people you're going to cover, study our system, our techniques, our coverages, and have a good plan of attack every Sunday.
Hey, Coach, you have 7 running backs on your roster right now. What are you looking for in that group? And Chris Thompson was saying you have some big bruisers, but you have better route runners. What are you looking to sort of mold that position group to look like?
Yeah, I think that's a great benefit that we have here. We have different style of backs, and we can. It's just it's tough. You talk about first, second down backs. We got 3, 4 of those guys. We have guys that can come out of the backfield protect. We have 3 of those guys. We have a couple guys that can do a little bit of everything. So it's a very interesting group, very exciting group to me. They're all great kids. They all work extremely hard. But at the end of the day, it's going to be about the guy who protects the football, the guy who can protect the quarterback, and then make the tough runs after contact, and we'll let it play out and go from there.
Back here. With all the weapons you have on offense, Thompson, you have Geis, you have Doxson, Crowder, and hopefully everybody stays healthy with an offensive line the way you have it. Do you feel like in your 5 years this has the potential to be the most potent offense that you've ever had?
Yeah, every year you're very optimistic, but this year when you talk about getting Chris Thompson back, who's really shown that he's one of the top third down backs in the league, and get Jordan Reed back, who's shown he's one of the best tight ends in the league as far as route running and blocking, and then you add a guy like Darius Geis into a pretty crowded running back group. Then a receiver, he added the speed like Paul Richardson to go along with Josh Doxson and Jameson Crowder in a slot, who can do a lot of different things. You have a veteran quarterback like Alex and Colt. And then offensive linemen, when you watch these guys run and first day out here and you see Trent Williams, Ty Anseki, and Morgan Moses standing next to each other, you sleep good at night thinking that they might play on Sunday. Now the trick is to get them all out there on Sunday healthy and ready to go. But, yeah, I feel very good about the group that we have, and we should. We put a lot of work into getting the people in here we want. Now it's a matter of coaching them up and putting them in the right spots and letting these guys play on Sunday.
Back to the running back mix. How much of a consideration is having a guy on the roster that is a backup to Thompson in case he has some issues? You kind of have maybe three guys and guys, Kelly and P. Ryan, who are, kind of the same kind of guy, and you have Thompson, who is different. Do you want to look at maybe having a guy on the roster that can back up Thompson if the worst should happen again?
Without a doubt. And the good thing is Capri Bibbs is very good out of the backfield, and Byron Marshall has shown things that he can be a very explosive player for this football team, out of the backfield and running the football between the tackles and outside. So I think we have that spot covered.
It has to be a big consideration.
Oh, without a doubt.
When you get the 53.
Yes. Yeah. Fortunately, last year when Chris did get hurt, Capri, we went to Byron Marshall, and then he got hurt. He pulled his hammy, and then Capri did some good things. So that is an important spot in pro football. Eventually, you're going to get the third down and 4 or 5, and that back has to either protect or get open on the linebackers. And all three of those guys have shown they can do that.
I want to ask one more question about the backs. With how well stocked you guys are, and then you look and you see the record contract that Todd Gurley got and just all the overall running back talent coming into the league right now, there was this perception a few years ago that the position wasn't as valuable. Get a third or fourth round guy, start him, don't pay too much for that position. Did you ever subscribe to that belief? And do you think that we are just in a different era because there's just a greater talent of back?
Yeah, I think it all depends on where you're talking about, and who you're talking about taking. Like a first rounder, is this guy like a Todd Gurley? Then sure, you want to take him in the first, And if you have bigger needs or there's other good players at other positions, then you want to, if you're a great defensive tackle that you will never get in the second or third round, or there might not be a lot of defensive tackles later in the draft, and you have to take a tackle. So it all depends. But I don't think anybody's ever discounted the importance of a running back in pro football. Really, I really don't. I just think that there's so many other positions nowadays in pro football that are hard to find based on the way college football is playing, that sometimes you have to invest in either a defensive lineman, maybe a offensive lineman, because there aren't a lot that particular year. That you might be able to find more talented back in the third or fourth round that can come in, like Kareem Hunt, who did for Kansas City. There are guys like that. But every year is different. Every player is different. If you have a guy that you think is a franchise changer, you'll take him in the first.
Coach here in the back, you touched briefly about Ryan Kerrigan. Since you've been around him, what impresses you about him? And on a national level, do you view him as underrated?
Definitely not his golf game. Wow, is he bad. But, I think what people just don't understand about Ryan is Ryan has never said two words about anything negative around here. He's always been an upbeat, positive guy. He's never missed a day of practice. He practices just like he plays, hard. He's just a no-nonsense, work your tail off, playmaking guy. And you love guys like that, really. He's a great example for the young guys. He's a great example for the veteran guys. How do you want to maintain a career? How do you want to have a great career? He does things right. He gets treatment when he gets treatment. He's never late to a meeting. If you're going to dial up a professional football player, how you want him to act off the field, on game day, production, Ryan Kerrigan is really a starting point.
Anyone else? Coach, thanks.
Thank you.